Confessions of a Football God. Yeah. 1050 we're starting. The 50s. Wow. You know what? I wonder how linebackers in the 50s would stack up to linebackers today. I think linebackers today are kind of like in the size of linemen in the 50s and shit, and fast as fuck. And I'm wondering how I would stack up, you know, at USC, you know, in my prime, you know, 20, 21, 22 years old, making the play. Would I even see the fucking field, you know? I mean, that depends on coaches, right? But the 50s, right? I mean, that's what linebackers are numbered, unless you're like, what was it, 44, Brian Bosworth? Wow, coaches made you homeboy, for real. I mean, it's not like you couldn't run to the ball and tackle when it wasn't Bo Jackson fucking you up on national television, basically emasculating you to the point where you got punked. Happens. But you were playing behind Tony Casillas and shit, you know, and what, 2, 3 other All-Americans and stuff. They were using all the offensive guys on the line to fucking block those guys. You were just basically running to the ball. You got stats, you got pub, you got drafted, you got wrecked, and basically, man, from what I read, it sounded like you were a punk. You worked at an auto manufacturer, and what you did is you took a washer, tied it to a string, tied it inside the door of a car, and then put tape on it. That would dry and fall off, and then it would rattle. And people that worked hard for their money, man, they might not have been born with, you know, the tools you were. Wow, man. I mean, funny how a lot of people really look up to Brian Bosworth, right? Or did. And then, you know, in reality, man, you know, like if women could select the sperm donor. In reality, dude, if I don't like you and we're in the same pod, you don't make it out if I'm a lifer, dude, okay? You wouldn't last with me. You weren't built for somebody like me. See the play. Where would you be, right? And then you did that movie, fucking Stone Cold, man. I was rooting for the bikers. I really was. You know what? Because basically, you were a cop, you know what I'm saying? And so, while I'm talking about real linebackers, Brian Bosworth, trust and believe this. You could easily be one of the catalysts that tip the scales in favor of stevia saving bodies and then eventually saving planet Earth, because bodies are mostly water. Water is magic. Without it, life doesn't exist. And stevia is magic for it. Hence, the people that run this planet, that own it, you know, they won. I mean, I bet you if they could have exterminated stevia, you know, they would have before they knew what it did. Anyhow, yeah, LT. You know what, man? I would have never, ever mouthed my name in the same breath as yours. You know what? Because you were a savage, you know what I'm saying? And doing all those things. And then, you know, I mean, I could make the play, and I did. And I could cover Alan Pinkett man for man downfield. Some of the wide receivers, too, man, I was fast. I mean, they might break me off, you know, when I'm fucking passing them off to a defensive back 45 yards down the fucking field and shit. I've done my job, homie. Feel me? It would have been all rock and roll. I mean, if it's not for Lou Holtz, LT, Notre Dame not only wins the national championship, but people are talking about that defense as one of the best that's ever been. Seriously, I kid you not, LT. Working in some Playboy bar, you know, probably high class, because Marty Lippincott, you know what, man? He was no slouch. And I saw him kick Tony Syracuse's ass. Not in person, mind you, but Jerry Faust, master recruiter, okay? Had an eye for talent. He just didn't spread it around enough, right? And he was undermined by his assistant coaches. I heard them talking about him, laughing about him. I'll tell you what, Jerry was a nice guy. He was out of his element. He was a decent human being, and he went to the coaching college level, okay? You know what? A lot of those guys are pieces of shit. I mean, pieces of shit. You know what? Speaking of which, Scott Reardon, I remember a time, dude, when Don Principali had actually done his job and kept me out, right, in pass rush, and he got a little bucky and touched my face mask one too many, right? So basically, boom, I jammed him and let him have it, and I would have fucked him up, right? Because I fucked everybody up. And then you're like, you know, can I handle it, Coach Janto? And I'm thinking, you know what, dude? Unless you bring a fucking knife, a gun, and a baseball bat, fat boy, okay? You're not handling shit, you know? What I'm going to do, Scott, is make a video about you and your fat ass and what would have happened had you ever fucked with Dan Quinn. If you had actually manned up, beep, fill that with any, you know, punk, whatever, as Scott Reardon, not as strength coach, conditioning, you know what I'm saying? And all you have to do is kiss my ring, bitch, metaphorically, and snort stevia, and Twitter what it does. What it does is make me leaner and faster, and then talk to Drew Bad Boy Montgomery, alright? I'm strong as I'm strong as fuck, homie. Talk to Ted Williams, dude. So, who really is leaner, faster, and then has Zeus strength when they're 43, and they had that same shit, you know, when they're in their 20s, and Lou Holtz. I'll tell you what, man. I was talking about linebackers, and you fucked Cedric Figueroa. You cost him a lot of money, man, when you tanked me. You told me. As we're on 58, Jack Del Rio. How much money did you make? Good for you, man. Props. You know what? We probably would have been friends, dude. I wouldn't have come onto the field and acted like an asshole. And if you were cool, you wouldn't have gotten fucked up, right? Talk to anybody, man. See me winning the bingo bouts and shit, you know? I'm faster than you. That transfers to hand speed. And at least back in the day when I used to fight, I used to attack the head, man. Seriously. And then I learned how to box. I tried to do Muhammad Ali, and I try to go, you know, speed, P-pat, you know, I'm going to bomb. I'm Rick Bardell, son. Oh, yeah. But, you know what? Yeah, I got converted. I saw 58. And I'm thinking, you know what? Lou Holtz, what you kept back from money and being famous. Dan Quinn. And you know what? Because Dan Quinn was good. A good person. All the cool guys liked him, really. Ned Volkart, Marty Ipicott, they were like my best friends. And everybody else that was cool too liked me. And then if you didn't like me, I'll tell you what, you were probably a fucking punk bitch. And I checked you and shit, and you didn't like it, and you got embarrassed. And so instead of manning up, punk, you'd be talking shit. Anyways, yeah, so Lou, dude, when you were fucking actually telling me that I had done everything that I asked, you know, I got those recommendations, you know, telling, you know, Lou Holtz what a good kid Dan Quinn is. And see, Dan Quinn, when he's getting this shit, is thinking, Lou Holtz, you don't know how lucky you are, bitch, because I know people. Seriously. It's like this, Lou. Look throughout history, okay? Criminals love to surround themselves around star athletes, okay? And you know what, Lou? My hand is raised in victory. Fucking people love putting them out of concussions, touching Steve Taylor twice, making the play, bitch. You kept potentially, what? A white LT, if used correctly. Oh my goodness. Cedric Figueroa and Dan Quinn as bookends. Oh, we would have been fucking unstoppable. Two guys that are cat quick, that could fucking cover man to man. I know I could. What's up, pigs? And attack the passer. I think my 6.5 sacks in the spring game, 86, Lou Holtz. I had guys coming up like you, okay, to my table, telling me what a great guy and what a good job I did. And I had other guys too, Lou, telling me, you know what, off the record, homie, if you don't get hurt, you're a lock for first round, okay? Seriously. And you know what? It's like this, bitches. Dan Quinn, like Kane, turned his back on that game. Because you know what? That game viciously mutilates children's fucking egos and self-esteem by a bunch of cowardly bitches that say shit using the fucking guys as coach, okay? Authority. To get away with what, if they said that shit in the pen, they would spring leaks. Oh yeah, and so it's like this, Lou. You actually tell me that I had an A for effort, but I just didn't have the ability to play football at Notre Dame. Remember when everybody else was like a 2-minute meeting? Oh yeah, coach, you know what? I want to do a good fucking job. I want to help achieve, rah rah, and then they're out. And you and I were in there for like 45 minutes, and I said, you know what, Lou? Check this out. You know what? Don't bullshit me. What did I say, Lou? You know what? My word against yours, punk. And didn't I basically tell you enough to keep you interested for 45 fucking minutes? And you know, it basically went like this. It's not my fault, you know, that when you saw me, Lou, you're like, you know what? Fuck this son of a bitch. He has everything that I want and even more. You know what? Because I've seen this cock in the you know, did I catch you looking at cocks in a locker room pool and check you on it, and then you didn't like me, bitch, and you fired me for the play? And you know what? Oh, I'm gonna get cruel. I'm gonna fucking make kids at your children's fucking schools laugh at them to the point where, you know what? They might fucking choose to divest their name from you, Lou Holtz, because you know what, bitch? Stevia, snort it. Oh, you know what? It's stronger than cocaine. Cocaine, methamphetamine, rotten teeth, ruined lives, stevia, but with meth drive, just not as long. And you know what, son? I'm gonna fuck people up, all right? Because everybody else is drinking that shit that they call water, which equates to basically poison. Stevia, wait a minute, tap water with stevia, okay? Tap water with stevia, not pure H2O. Tank Peachy, but she was 17, so she was like 87, you know, and that's a real old body. And you know what? It's like this, son. How long are you gonna last, right? I want to be around through my sons for a long time, okay? And check this out. Dan Quinn's so nice. Ask Tony Acuna. He said I made his top 5 all fucking time Savage list. And Lou Holtz, you know what? Tony, in his fucking sphere, he's a god, homeboy. Like in the pen and shit, Savage, man. And he said I was too nice to actually carry the keys to the house and shit, right? Because I'm not ruthless and shit, right? That's more like guys like you, but in the pen, homie, unless you're PC'd up, you know what? Tell you what, that's gonna be part of the fun, Lou. You wanna know why? Because I can do basically anything I want if I have the money, and Stevia gives me the ability to outperform my 23-year-old self when I basically took fucking over, cunt. And oh, you know what? That word right there got me expelled from Notre Dame for supposedly making a bitch fly like a witch on a broom 17 feet down the hall, and they bought it, and I was gone for 2 semesters. And you know what? I came back, and that was my mistake. But you know what? I have my kids, I have my discovery, and you know what, punk? As I end on number 5, Randy Wells. Tell you what, I saw your face on one of those get-rich-quick schemes and shit, and I'm thinking, you always were slick, man. But you know what? Did you ever know anybody that could make the play and didn't choose the NFL? Dan Quinn did. Peace out, bitches.